Fonzarelli Show.
Joining me, of course, I got my buddy Khiim in the house. What's up, Khiim? How you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm pretty good. You?
Good. Khiim, I think we made some moves in these last two episodes. Yeah. I've got a couple observations. I'm sure you do too. But we were talking about the first two episodes, I kind of was taking what I was given, and I was trying to see where they were going with things.
Yeah.
I think I was wrong on a lot of things because my thought was the end game was going to be Falcon with the shield, and they were telling us that story. Now I don't know what the end game is.
Yeah,
because it looks like it's up for grabs almost.
Yeah.
First of all, Zemo came out, and Zemo's kind of giving us the same kind of reflections that the other two guys are giving us.
Yeah,
I think it's like a lot of backstory and introspective stuff, almost like more of a, WandaVision was in its small little bubble of the situation. This thing is very broad in its sense of like the state of the world and the turmoil of the snap and the people coming back. And even Falcon's struggles aren't as like cut and dry as I thought. And even Bucky, okay, so start off, you made an interesting post on your Facebook saying like, I want Bucky to get the shield.
Yeah, I'd prefer it.
And now that I'm looking at it, because at first I just figured like he's just going to kind of ride along to be like the muscle and the, almost the sidekick kind of, but it's not really looking that way. And it's looking like he's actually, he's very reminiscent of the other side of Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm not afraid to do.
Yeah.
Like Cap wasn't afraid to break the law, get his hands dirty, because if he thought the ends justified the means, he did that. And Bucky's kind of riding that same road.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still trying. Him and Falcon are on the same mission, but he's got his own things. We're learning about Bucky's struggle, and he's making it real to things we never thought about.
Exactly.
Like we just saw him. I know you're following the movies and you're going along to everything again. Where have you hit Winter Soldier yet? So it was always like, he was Bucky, then he's Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
But you never, even in Civil War where he flipped, you never really got any reflection on his struggle.
Yeah, there was no downtime for him as far as a character as us viewing him from the outside. It was just kind of switch pace, like...
Yeah, he just
best
flipped.
Friend, bad guy, now he's on our team.
Yeah, and you never even got to see, like, in the opening of the fourth episode with Ayo, where she's saying the trigger words to him.
Yeah.
And he's crying. Okay, now we're really getting into to Bucky and his struggle. And maybe back then I had it in my head that, and here's another thing, I'm kind of jumping around a little bit. It's like Zemo pointed it out perfect when he was talking about Cap's flaws, putting him on a pedestal. And maybe we as the audience put him on a pedestal and we forget he's made mistakes.
Yeah.
He's not perfect. I mean, he even didn't tell Tony about Bucky killing his parents.
Yeah.
So Steve's not perfect. The thing is just because Steve chose Falcon doesn't mean he made the right choice.
Yeah.
If Falcon don't want it, he's not the right choice. I mean, shouldn't that be the part of it is you want it?
Yeah.
And like you want to stand for it. Now, I didn't see it. The only thing I could see that would flip, I mean, everybody's seen the episodes. We just have the conversation. We have the run through scene by scene. But the only thing I could see that would flip it is what went down with John Walker. And now I can just call him John Walker. If you say new Cap, old Cap, it's John Walker.
Yeah.
I don't even know if U.S. Agent's going to happen or not. But, you saw Walker. I kind of knew Walker's like, all right, Walker is going for that serum. Even before he grabbed it. Like, he's starting to realize when the Wakanda women kicked his butt.
Yeah, he's like, I ain't got shit.
Because they weren't even super soldiers. They were just regular girls just beat me up. They were girls, guys, whatever. Just regular people just beat me up.
Yeah.
And, he's got to live up to this thing, and he's seeing himself fail. Now, even the conversations that Sam's having with Carly, and you're seeing Sam kind of like, Sam's not just like, you're wrong, I'm right. And he's not trying to convince her of anything either. He's agreeing with her on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And basically, Falcon's stance is, there's some situations that are messed up.
I feel like everybody in this show is realizing that there are gray areas. It's not as plain and simple as black and white.
Yes.
They're all fighting about how do we go about doing this.
Yeah.
Basically, we all understand that we can all agree that there's a problem. How do we solve it?
Yes.
That's what they're at right now.
Yeah. And like even now Zemo, of course, is a bad guy. I mean, he is. No, he is. I mean, he killed the king of Wakanda.
Yeah.
He's blown up buildings. I mean, he's basically a terrorist that thinks he's in the right. But
where do you think he stands at this moment now? Because we could say the same thing about Bucky, that he was a terrorist, but he's getting his redemption. Because I'm still waiting. I'm still anticipating the moment that like, okay, Zemo ultimately does screw them over.
Yeah.
But we're seeing that like there's these moments where he has these choices where it seems like he's going to the dark side, but it's like no. I still don't. I guess I don't still fully understand his intentions.
When I thought when the serum came out, I was positive Zemo was going to take one for himself.
And then when he actually smashed them, he's like he really doesn't want like this stuff out there. And then even when he's going and killing all these people that they're finding, I think he's just trying to terminate. Like I don't want the serum around.
And it's funny because he could have in his own head justified taking it.
Yeah,
but it would have broke his character. It would have broke. Even the bad stuff he did, bad or good, he had his reasons. He has a set straight of rules. Like even when he first came into play, he's like, I will not leave my work unfinished. He killed those 5 other Winter Soldiers in Civil War. Like he is not about this kind of stuff happening. It's kind of the conversation is that last scene of U.S. Agent just brutally, or John Walker brutally murdering that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chilling scene when you watch this. Not him doing it, because we've seen that kind of stuff in comic book, but when you stand back and you see a guy in a Captain America costume with just blood all over his shield, the world is, everybody's seeing that. You can see people taking pictures of it.
Yeah, World Star.
Yeah.
That was a World Star moment. Everybody's screaming World Star watching it.
And I looked in his face. It wasn't like anger. It wasn't relief. It wasn't like, yeah, I'm bad. He's like,
no, he lost it.
He was just like, when he's like, well, this is what I did. Like, he just like, here's where I'm at now. And just kind of, but this might change Falcon's mind on things, or even Bucky's mind, whether whoever wants the shield.
Yeah.
This might make them get that shield from him.
Yeah, this might be the catalyst to be like, okay, we have to take it from him.
Yeah, I don't care if you want it, Falcon, but he can't have it.
Yeah.
So whether they're going to physically fight him, I mean, Falcon's not a super soldier, but Falcon has the wings, which puts him on par. I mean, he was fighting those aliens and stuff, and like he still is on their level. I thought he'd be like extreme on their level, and it's kind of cool that they kind of destroyed the this serums just because unless she's got some more hidden somewhere. If Falcon was going to get the serum, the only thing I could see is like that would kind of make sense as a resolution. Falcon takes like a mortal wound next to Carly. And Carly just like shoots him up
she has that.
to save his life.
Yeah.
And then he even, because he said he doesn't want it. Yeah. Like no hesitation. Boom, don't want it.
Yeah.
But what if somebody just forced on you? Not that he needs it. Like I said, I thought maybe he needed it, but not really, because these guys, Black Widow has no powers and keeps up with them. It's whether believable or not, it happens. Hawkeye shoots arrows and he's on the same level as these people. So,
and that might make sense, because I even kind of get like the theme of from the first Captain America of like, when he's talking about people who want it are supremacists, people who want the serum or want to have powers have a supremacist mind.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to when, I forget, but it was Tommy Lee Jones. He was the general when he was in the first Captain America.
In Captain America, yes.
Yeah. They were going through the whole talk of he was chosen basically because he didn't want the power. It wasn't about power. You know what I mean? So it could turn back into Falcon that way. He doesn't want the power. It doesn't mean it necessarily won't turn into him.
Yeah, but what still... See, well, I was going to say, because I wrote it when I was watching the third episode, I'm like, I'm not really seeing much from Falcon.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing... He's a good guy. He's a good dude. I'm seeing him. I'm liking him.
Yeah.
But I'm not seeing that, like, that Captain America moment.
No initiative.
I don't... Yeah, or the I'm taking control. He's basically just... It's basically Zemo... and Winter Soldier driving the car. Yeah. And Sam's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, it's just, he's not, he's just kind of rolling with the way things are going.
Yeah.
So I don't, especially this late in the game, I don't see where he stands up. So.
How many more episodes we have? Is it 3?
I believe it was 6.
6? Oh, yeah.
So it's 2 more episodes, but they're hour-long episodes. A lot's developed. Oh, I do have a prediction that we didn't even cover this kind of subject, but I'll straight say it out. I think the power broker is Sharon Carter.
Really?
just because how is she running at this high level alongside the power broker and not getting on the power broker's radar? Mm-hmm. And also, this late in the show, why would you? He's just going to turn out to be a dude? Like, I don't know. There's something like...
Yeah, I understand.
She has
this
a lot...
show, they can't just throw somebody random and be like, oh, this is the power broker. It's got to be somebody we've already seen.
That's just because maybe in the beginning, but now it's so late in the game.
Yeah.
I don't see like the big reveal of the power broker being like, oh, it's just some dude.
Yeah.
And we've been burned before, so it could just be some dude. It could be Ralph Boner.
Yeah.
He could be the power broker. But there's something like, I don't know. Sharon just seems... Oh, Madripoor, that's an X-Men city.
Really?
That is straight from X-Men comic books. It's not, there's nothing really mutant about it, but it's just like it exists in the Marvel universe, but it's basically it's an X-Men property.
Yeah.
So that is...
Yeah, specifically to that region of the universe.
Yeah, so that is the official using some of their new property. That's like their first toy they got to play with.
Okay.
The underground city of Madripoor. But it's basically, there was a gate that had an X on it. Did you catch that?
I didn't.
There was a gate that had an X on it. And she goes, oh, this is going to be, and I'm like, are you, I rewound it and watched it again. I see a straight up X on the gate. Mm-hmm. But it was the gate of the building she blew up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, she didn't just blow up the X mansion. And then I looked it up. In Europe, it means something like do not enter. But it was a straight up X. I'm like, wow, you're doing it.
They're trying to fool us again.
Because she said something to the effect of, well, I have another plan or I got some other idea. And she looks over like, Professor Rex is going to help you? I was like, wow, this really took a leap. The sister's coming through again, so we kind of got some justification for her character because it wasn't like, okay, because at first I'm like watching the movie and I'm like, well, you know, does need to be some character developments. Sam needed to have a family to threaten.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest thing. We got to know the sister. It's not like I was like, are we going to spend the show selling the boat? Like in the beginning, I'm like, what are we watching here? But at least you get to learn a little bit about his family and this and that. You can just have him randomly. So that kind of came full circle to a point.
Yeah. I also think it helped with underlie and build on the relationship between him and Carly. Them being able to sit down and have that conversation. Yeah,
Carly's turning out to be pretty fleshed out, like a pretty interesting character.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought she was just like a random villain.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch her, like when she first appeared, I just thought she was one of many.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know...
she's a lead.
Yeah, she's a lead, and she's like an interesting, like where she's going to wind up, who knows?
Yeah.
This John Walker thing's interesting, because it kind of is I can't see Bucky or Sam being happy with John Walker right now.
No?
Like, I can't see them letting him walk away with that shield. I cannot see it. I think the two of them, you know...
So you think next episode's going to pick up right there?
Yeah, and here's another thing I thought about it, too. It's not too hard, because, he just got that super serum. He still knows Steve Rogers. Mm-hmm. And Winter Soldier, maybe he was a more experienced soldier. But Winter Soldier, like, he gave Cap a run for his money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he caught the shield. He was like unstoppable.
Yeah.
When he's in full Winter Soldier mode.
Yeah.
And that's not something with his brain. That's his abilities.
Yeah, Bucky's no joke.
Even when he showed it in Madripoor, when he was pretending to be Winter Soldier, like in Winter Soldier mode, he went full like
assassin,
but robotic moves, just like no emotion, just like a Terminator almost.
Exactly.
So he does have that capability in him. So you see him. I think they'll get that. Curious to see where John Walker goes, if it's going to go in that road of U.S. agents or anything.
So then maybe if they do take the shield, maybe that's how we'll get U.S. agent. Maybe he'll have some gripe about the shield being taken from him, and now he'll be this underlying character that's in the universe, you know?
Well, because even this, with everything just a bloody murder being on video like that and being streamed, he's going to lose his job.
Yeah.
They're gonna whether those two get the shield or something, but the government's gonna say, "You're done, dude.
You're out of here."
And then he'll be disgraced, and whether he resurfaces again or you just see him without any kind of costume, but he's still, I don't know where the redemption comes from. He might disappear.
I don't think there'll be redemption, but I think that's gonna set him on his kind of like anti-hero.
Yeah, he might not even make it back into the movie. Maybe who knows what his future is. I guess it's dependent on the reception of, his first reception was the whole, everybody went like, this is the replacement Captain America.
Him.
No, now I'm liking him because I'm getting, this is something else. Like you see what his origin is. He's like this. He's, and of course with Battlestar, those conversations they have, they're fleshing him out. Like, okay, we've seen a lot of action. Those things we did, medals we earned.
This was his chance at redemption, and it's being taken from him, basically, or nobody's respecting it.
Yeah, so if he goes underground, if he's explored later in a different, maybe it won't be instantly after, but he might weave his way out of the show, but weave himself back in.
Yeah, at some
either his
point.
own show, because I would watch a U.S. Agent show.
Yeah,
and if he's not, he doesn't necessarily have to be like Captain America in a darker costume. He could be something. They've even done that in the comics. First, he looked like. It was like War Machine, Iron Man. It was Captain America and U.S. Agent.
Yeah.
But then they've given U.S. Agent a different costume that kind of took him further away from Captain America. It doesn't have to be the round shield. It could be any kind of shield or anything. So, he's become an interesting character. I definitely think the show's picking up. Like it's definitely intriguing because I don't know what I'm waiting for to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know what the resolution is.
Yeah.
Or where I know what the protagonist is or like what the objectives are, but I don't know, like especially because the super serum's out of play. So what is it they're exactly trying to accomplish now?
Yeah.
The scientist was killed. Zemo wasn't having it. Zemo's So it's cool. It's intriguing, and I'm not, like I said, it's intriguing. We're not waiting for anything, so it's just like, how is this going to end now? But now I feel like I'm vested in it. Like I want to see where the shield goes. It might surprise us. It might have been a whole loop. Put Winter Soldier's name last, and he might just take the shield.
Yeah. Now, I just thought about something. How you're saying the power broker might have been Carter. Are we sure? Has Carly met the power broker? Do we know if anybody's seen him face to face? Because when she was having a talk with the other two of her friends, and then they got the message saying basically he's coming for you, she specifically said him. She's like, well, so-and-so about the Falcon or whatever, I'll talk to him. But when the power broker comes, I'll deal with him.
Maybe as I'm thinking of the answer, maybe I conflicted myself because Sharon took him to the scientist.
Yeah.
So what would that gain her if she was?
Yeah, what would her hand be of basically helping guide?
Because she should have expected
playing both roles. Basically.
Yeah, because she should have
both sides.
Okay, so I guess because she should have expected Zemo to do what he did.
Yeah,
or she would have there's serum in there
unless she wanted it to happen. But again,
maybe just didn't want the other serum out there. I don't know. So maybe I'm wrong on that. It just seemed like she had a lot of resources. Mm-hmm. Like it seems like she's traveling. She's got the same reach. You know what scene did it to me? Is because I watched it again, I actually see her at the bar, put her hood up and turn. Mm-hmm. And immediately after she did that, somebody walked up and says, the power broker doesn't want you here. So that's why I was like, wait a minute. It was just but the more I think about it, maybe I won't, maybe I've been wrong on that. Unless I'm right, and then I'll be like, I called it. But yeah, I don't think it's...
I don't know. I was just thinking.
No, it seemed like she had a lot of resources. I mean, she got burned.
She does. She has a lot of resources for somebody who can't go back to her country.
And
it's cut off,
And just to be allowed to operate on that kind of level and stay off the power broker's radar. What I'm saying is she's helping these guys in the power, but maybe the power broker really has nothing against Sam and Bucky because he just wants his stuff back.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what they're doing. Isaiah came into play. They actually used his blood samples for that was an interesting thing when the scientist told his story. So you got Hydra, you got the Snap involved. There's so many different aspects to it. And I thought Isaiah would come back and play a role. Or or Falcon would have another conversation. But I think maybe we found out everything we needed to know, just the idea of it.
Yeah, you think that's wrapped up? Because I thought the same thing. I thought they'd at least have one more encounter.
Yeah, I thought Falcon, I want to know exactly why did you go to jail and make that I don't know. Like, what exactly did they, learn more of the mystery, which doesn't mean it won't happen. But I just don't see them leaving where they are. It just, I don't know where it's going. So that's what I'm saying. It's pretty cool because I'm not, expecting anything. So any surprises will be just a surprise, but I don't know. I don't know if I don't see a point in this thing where because Don Cheadle was in the first episode, I was like, could War Machine just show up for a scene or an episode or something? He's suiting up for his own show, so not that I need that, but I'm curious. I feel like they might throw us a surprise here and there, but they don't need to. It's not WandaVision where I need to see a big, shocking end every time.
Yeah.
The image, like I said, the image of John Walker with that bloody shield. That was
good.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was a good way to end that episode.
That is because I knew he was brutal, but he just straight up murdered a helpless dude. So the whole game has changed for him and like his dynamic with Sam and Bucky. So it'll be interesting to play that, see how that plays out. But like I said, we'll see how that goes, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks. We're doing this one bi-weekly, so we'll slip in a few surprises in between, and then we got some other stuff we got planned. So once again, I want to thank Khiim for being here. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys in a couple weeks.